Hey, what up? It's your boy. So, a little story time with Joey. This happened earlier this month, actually, the beginning of March, and is, I guess, a friendly reminder for anyone who wants to ever go to or still continues to go see live music. Unsurprisingly, it is something that I absolutely freaking love. I've been going to go watch live bands ever since I was little because, again, music is a massive part of my life, as you've hopefully figured out on this channel, and going to live concerts, going to see bands that you've listened to for all that time just through a set of headphones, to finally see them play it live on stage in front of your eyes in real life is an amazing experience that I'm sure anyone who has gone to see a live concert can definitely agree with. But the one thing about me, or I guess the past couple of years, is that due to the state of the world, especially here in Japan, live music or the live music scene was very dormant. Obviously, because they were trying to make sure that there weren't too many people in a close proximity to each other to prevent the spread of the virus. Naturally, a lot of live concerts, live shows were put on hold. In fact, there were a lot of actually very big concerts that I was planning to go to throughout the pandemic that got cut off short due to obvious health regulations. But now it's 2023. It's been 3 years since the pandemic started, and suffice it to say, even though the virus is not gone, the world is slowly starting to return to the pre-pandemic days. There have been people now who have not been wearing masks over in Japan now that the mask mandate here is finally gone. And the Japanese government basically said, hey, you can walk around without a mask now. Not that it's a necessity or anything, but for those of you who didn't want to and are making sure to protect yourselves, yeah, you can walk around without a mask. And because of there being less cases happening in Japan and all over the world recently, live music scene is back, up and running, hitting the ground. As someone who has, again, always enjoyed going to live concerts, I thought to myself, this is the year that I get to basically make up for the 2.5 years I wasn't able to go see live music. So when I found out about that, one of my friends hit me up and said, yo, Joey, there is one concert that is happening up in the north of Japan, up in Sendai, and it's of a band that you freaking love. We should go see them. And that band just so happened to be Toe. It is a Japanese math rock band that I think anyone in the math rock scene is pretty familiar with. They do some like pretty big underground hits in the math rock world. For those of you who don't know what that means, basically it is a Japanese indie band comprised of about 5 members who do mostly instrumental music, but they do have a singer as well. And the best way to describe their music is basically like lo-fi hip-hop before lo-fi hip-hop was a thing, except instead of hip-hop, it is all instrumental based music. Essentially, it's the kind of relaxing, calming, very quiet type of music. I found Toth when I was first, introduced to the world of math rock, and it is great music to just kind of play in the background and relax. But that's not to say that their musicality is not top notch. It most certainly is. They're some of the most talented musicians that I have now finally had the privilege to go see live, and they were going to be playing up in Sendai. So I thought to myself, hell yeah, I'm going to take a day trip up to Sendai to go see this band that I've been listening to since freaking forever. And obviously I wasn't able to take footage of it, but hopefully I can share this story with you through the pictures that I took. But let me just say a little spoiler alert for the story. It doesn't go all that well near the end. So we rock up to this small little live house in the middle of Sendai, and it's about 7 stories down. Like, it is like on the B7 floor. This thing is deep underground. And it's a pretty packed show. I think it was actually all sold out, but that's not that exciting or impressive considering the fact that this is a tiny live house that could, I'd say, probably fit about 300 to 400 people, absolute maximum. Mind you, there's no seating. It's all standing because, if you've ever been to an indie band concert, then you would know that they don't have the space to put chairs there, dog. Like, everyone, you got to utilize that space that you got. And so basically we got in, we're standing about the middle of this room, and I'm kind of off into the corner as well, but I can get a pretty good view of the band considering that we're in Japan, and as someone who stands 6 feet tall, I am an absolute giant in a crowd. And it starts off great. It starts off absolutely amazing. amazing. You know, we're standing there, the band comes on, you know, introduces themselves, and let me just say, the lead singer, or I guess the leader of the band, or however you want to call him, is absolutely freaking hilarious. You guys know, if you've ever been to live concerts, you know, sometimes during some songs, you know, that they might take a break by, like, you know, just kind of bantering with the crowd, just kind of talking and chatting it up. This lead singer was just cracking jokes, like left, right, and center. He was cracking jokes at the audience, he was cracking jokes at the band, he was cracking jokes at the venue. Like, basically, he was in no shits given mode, and honestly, it was really refreshing to see like a Japanese person doing that, especially, and the Japanese crowd was absolutely loving it. So I knew immediately, okay, I'm fucking with this band more than I ever had, and this crowd as well is pretty dope as well. And so they start the set, you know, they're doing a bunch of songs, some that I'd never heard of, some of the hood classics from Toe as well, from like their second album, which those of you who know, it's freaking great. If you never heard of Toe, please give them a listen. Most of the stuff is on Spotify. And you know, it's been a while since I've been in an all-standing group. Mind you, I haven't been to a concert, period, since the pandemic started, let alone like a live show in like a small venue like this, an all-standing venue like this. It's been like, I'd say 6 or 7 years since the last time I went to one of those. So for one, you have to understand that I am standing up this entire set, and these sets are not short. Like, I think Toe was playing for about 2.5 hours, which is a relatively decent size set. Normally sets can range anywhere between I've been to some sets which were like 3 or 4 hours. So this was about a 2.5 hour set, and you know, I'm just kind of like getting into it, you know, just grooving with the music as everyone else is. And I realized that around the 85 to 90% through the concert stage, like probably after about 2 hours or so, that I had made a fatal mistake. For one, I was drinking alcohol because everybody was drinking alcohol. In fact, when you actually go to the concert, with the concert ticket, you get like a free drink ticket. So you can go to the bar at any time and grab yourself a drink for free, and you can also just buy extras with cold hard cash if you would like. So I just, you know, used the free ticket, got in there, started drinking, and everyone else was too. So I had like, you know, just a beer in my hand, just like having a great freaking time, amazing. And then around the 2 hour mark or so, I started to feel not very great. I mean, for one, I'm standing up the entire time, and I'm like kind of moving my body. So my knees are getting a little bit sore, my calves are getting a little bit sore, which was a given. But then I noticed that my vision was starting to get really blurry. And I thought, oh man, am I just like that emotional that I get to see and hear this beautiful sounding band that I've always wanted to see basically since I was in like college? Like the water in my eyes is blurring my vision? No, it wasn't that emotional, unfortunately. I mean, the concert itself was emotional, yes, but the reasons for my blurry vision were not due to emotions. It was actually due to the fact that I didn't drink any water. I got dehydrated as hell. Because again, let me set the scene again. We are 7 floors down, right? We are like a good 100 to 200 meters underground in an enclosed room. Everybody is packed into this room, like shoulder to shoulder. Like literally, I was like standing like this. Honestly, like I couldn't move at all, right? And so naturally, a lot of people are in there. It's getting hot. It's getting sweaty. It's getting steamy. So not only is the temperature rising, but there is no like real, I guess, ventilation that was happening. I mean, obviously there are vents up in the ceiling and stuff like that, but there's no like open window, and like, you know, the doors behind me are closed as well. So this heat is getting trapped in here, and to the point where like I went at like the end of September and I was in a t-shirt and I am sweating my ass off. And so my vision starts to get blurry, and I'm going, oh, what the hell is happening here? And then all of a sudden, before I realize it, I am on the ground. Like my ass is firmly planted on the ground. And I hadn't noticed that I had passed out. And so I am on the floor. Luckily, my friend was there to pick me up to make sure I was okay. But like, it was the scariest and weirdest experience. Like I could hear him talking to me, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. And I am drenched in sweat. and I have shivers in my body, and I realized that I had passed out due to dehydration, which is weird because when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I had a meal before I came, I had plenty of water, and obviously, I'm not talking about the alcohol. Obviously, alcohol does not correlate to water. So obviously I had made the fatal mistake of going into a live house and not have any source of hydration whatsoever. And I had absolutely misjudged on how hot it was going to be and how suffocating it was going to be, that I had essentially passed out from dehydration, like instantly. And it's so weird because, for one, I have never had the experience of, I guess, like passing out or fainting or anything like that, and especially due to dehydration, I've always been careful. Like I always have like a tea or water near me at all times. And for some reason, maybe it's because I was just excited to go see this band, or maybe it's because we were kind of like rushed in and packed in, and I didn't really have like, I didn't want to be that annoying guy to like part the Red Sea of the crowd to like get to a hydration station. But yeah, it turns out that later I found out that I had passed out due to dehydration. My friend literally had to drag me out. Like, he had to part the Red Sea of the crowd and drag me out. And luckily, it wasn't during like a song or anything. It was actually after the show had finished and people were calling for the encore. So luckily it was right at the end of the show, because the last thing I wanted to do was like ruin the nights of everybody else around me. That's the most Japanese thing I've ever fucking said. So I got dragged out and I got sat on a chair outside of the venue, and I just like downed this bottle of water. Like even if the water was like not passing through my throat, I was like, holy crap, I just passed out due to dehydration. And so I got out. Everybody there made sure I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm so sorry. I did not plan for this. I'm usually much better than this, but it's just been a while. Clearly, it was entirely my fault, and I had made this fatal mistake. But it was so scary because like my vision just went black for an instant, and then before I knew it, I was like on the freaking ground, and it was terrifying. It truly was terrifying. I guess though, the one funny thing that I can laugh at now, which is kind of sad, and it was totally instant karma compilation for me, was that as I'm outside of the venue sitting there, wiping off the sweat, drinking this ton of water to get myself up from the dehydration thing, from back inside where the live house is, because even though the doors were closed, I could still hear the band playing the encore song. They just happened to be performing my literal favorite song from them. The entire 2-hour concert, I was waiting for them to play this one song that like originally got me into Toe, which is Goodbye by Toe for you Toe fans. Like, I was waiting for them to play this song, and of course, time that they just happened to play that one song was when I was sitting outside on my own, trying to recover from dehydration, and I can faintly hear it from across the door. So yeah, that was definitely instant karma compilation on my end. I did not feel sorry for myself at all. I took it as like divine punishment of like, Joey, you fucking idiot. You should have brought in some water. How many times have you been to concerts? You know that is the number one rule when you go to any kind of live show. Make sure to stay hydrated. You weren't gamer enough, dog. So yeah, I managed to recover, thankfully. I'm alive, thankfully, as you can see here, but it was a truly terrifying experience. And I guess the reason why I wanted to share that story with you guys is because, again, I feel that, once since the pandemic is over and everything like that, and I love talking about music so much, and I love going to live concerts, and I am going to more live concerts throughout this month and next month. In fact, I'm going to a live concert tomorrow, which I'll hopefully be able to share in a video with you guys about, is that it was a reminder to myself, especially, but also a reminder to you guys to always bring water to these live concerts. Always, always, always stay hydrated, because you never know, you might get so emotional, or you might just be put in a situation that you weren't expecting that just drains the water out of your body. And the last thing you want to do is pass out due to dehydration like the unprepared idiot that I was, and miss a concert that you paid money to go see. And again, the silver lining was that it was like literally right near the end of the concert, so I still got to watch like a good 95% of the concert and really freaking enjoy it. It was an amazing live show, so powerful, such a powerful experience, especially in that small room. But that small room and my unpreparedness and stupidity also cost me to miss my favorite song from a band that I've been dying to go see. So yeah, that was just a little PSA to all of you who, if you ever want to go and experience a live concert or any kind of, you know, going out to some kind of event or whatever, my number one rule is this: if you're going to learn anything from this video and story time, is that make sure to stay hydrated. All right, like over prepare yourself. It doesn't matter, like you're better off having to run to the toilet halfway through a concert than to pass out and potentially almost die at a concert. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for listening to that, and again, please stay safe. My concert tomorrow that I am going to, I am definitely bringing like a 2-liter motherfucker of water because I don't want that happening to me ever again. No, thank you. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. And if you've had any like scary experiences at live concerts and stuff like that, or if you have some more lighthearted stories at concerts, then I'd like to hear your stories down in the comments below. Let me know. But hey, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right here to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. And over here next to my head, a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one, and the links to my social media as well as my YouTube and TikTok shorts, which are blowing up recently, by the way. Thank you very much, and support me directly over on my Patreon, all down in the description below, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.